Let's go now to the founder and CEO of Credi. That is not a typo, it's Credi. Tim Dean joins us with a great new initiative. Nice to speak to you, Tim.
Good afternoon.
Now, Tim, why don't you explain to our listeners why you call Credi the bank of mum and dad?
Okay, well, look, I'm a father of four boys, from 9 to 25.
Kept on trying, mate, and failing, eh?
yes, sadly so. And, you know, it was just after one of those phone calls from the eldest. You know how it goes. He picks up the phone and he goes, "Hi, Dad," and there's a really long pause. And you go, "Uh-oh, yeah. It's the money call." And the longer the pause, the more you know you're in it for. And look, as a parent, you want to help your kids out, and you want to perhaps give them some sort of start in financial education. So you end up either lending them or giving them some money. Anyway, after one of these sort of difficult phone calls, I thought, look, there's got to be a better way of doing this. So I looked around, found nothing, and did a bit of research with RMIT and ended up building it. But since we started this journey 2 years ago, the statistics that have dropped out in terms of the size of the bank of mum and dad are absolutely bewildering. You could argue it is the largest financial institution in the world. Certainly, in the UK it's rated as the ninth largest. If you add lending to startups, lending to mates, lending for deposits on houses, it's huge. And of course, entirely undocumented, and that's where Credi.com comes in.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about those fathers who've given into their daughters when they given those Labrador eyes. "Dad, can you support me here?"
What's the old saying, Tim? Money isn't everything, but it keeps the kids in touch.
Well, that's an interesting one. The reason you should say that, because we speak to a lot of people along the way, and one of the biggest problems they have is the kids don't stay in touch if they owe you money, because they don't want to have the money chat. They want to avoid the embarrassment. Yeah. And if you can put it in the Internet of Things, then, you can deal with those things offline, and you can get on with your relationship, and everyone keeps track and knows where they're at. So that's absolutely one of the benefits for the whole program as well.
Okay. Tim, give us an example of how Credi works in setting up basically a legal document without lawyers to make sure that there is some kind, and I presume that what we're seeing is a commitment between the lender to pay back the borrower to pay back the lender.
Yes, okay, easy. We designed it so it's as easy for an 18-year-old or an 88-year-old to set up a loan in about 5 minutes. So log on to the platform, identify yourself, go into the loan builder, and this is clever in the way that it builds a loan that you would understand. Do you understand interest rate? Do you understand fees? Do you want to start paying a peppercorn and then a lump sum at the end? It's a bit like sort of designing a car. You design it for you, not a kind of bank-level loan. You then, once you're happy with it, you either send it to someone you can help or send it to someone you want help from. They will receive an email, and again, next good bit. You don't have that awkward chat where you have to say, "Oh, look, I know you want to go out for a drink, but really you want to borrow some money." So you can do it in your own time. You can look at the loan, and you can either accept it, you can decline it and say, "Look, I can't help you at the moment," or you can negotiate and say, "Look, I can't lend you $10,000 for a car, I can lend you 8, I need it back on a certain date." After the toing and froing happens, then both people sign a legally binding contract. It's electronically signed, and then you're good to go. The individuals then send the money, and then Credi takes over and manages all the repayments. So it'll send out the reminders. So again, you're not meeting your mate down at the pub on Friday, and you're thinking, "Look, I better ask him if he's paid me," because that could cause a row, right? Yeah. So with Credi, it's happened, and then obviously after the event, 4 days later, the lender is minded to go and check, and then, of course, the lender can update the system. Yes, I got paid. Check the bank account. I got paid early. I got paid late. I got paid a little bit more, a little bit less. And the system does all the maths, recalculates it, resets the future payments, so on and so forth. And look, I noticed from the intro that there was a birthday in the show, so happy birthday. Well, I had a loan with my son for a laptop, and he'd never paid anything on time, ever. So, got to the laptop, he'd actually made the first 2 payments on time, came the third one, I logged on, forgave the loan, happy birthday, sent him the message, and he didn't have to make that repayment that month. And in fact, if he makes all the repayments on time, once he's got halfway through, in that instance, I'll let him off. But, I guess...
that's like a typical banker, Tim. They do that as well.
Well, look, the difficult conversation is going to be when, no doubt, they call up the bank at mum and dad and go, hey, look, we want to get on the housing deposits. And look, we've had loans from, $50 to $950,000 on our platform already. We've got $28 million of loans going through it, right? Yeah. And, when my son rocks up and says, oh, look, I want some help for a deposit, well, I'm going to lend it to him because, look, I'm not going to be difficult here, but I might not like his partner. And, the last thing I want is to be sort of talked into gifting it to him. And then, if they separate, unfortunately, then there's a separation of assets and sort of family money kind of walks out the door. So for me, a loan in that first set of circumstances is, makes financial sense for all parties as well. And we see a lot of that as well.
Okay, we're running out of time, but here's an important question. Have you had examples of where someone hasn't paid and they've been able to use the documentation to insist on payment?
Look, we haven't got that far yet. We've been launched for about 3 months. The contracts were put together by our legal teams, so they are absolutely set up to do that. We've had people that have asked, and we've referred them to the terms and conditions of the contract. So I suppose the point I'm making is it's way better to turn up with a legal contract which has evidence that the contract's been put together, repayments to say it's actually been performed under, than nothing. So it's a bit early for that, and I'm not saying it won't happen, but we're set up to provide all the support people need so they can safely and easily borrow and lend to friends and family. And big ticket items as well as, $100 for a pair of shoes. All right,
Tim, the website if people want to know more.
Yeah, the website is Credi.com. It's free to use at the moment. In due course, we'll add a fee for the larger loans, but I made a promise to myself for all loans under $2,000, we'll keep it free. I mean, the last thing we want is someone doesn't go to their father, or mother, or borrow a couple of $1,000 simply because they don't know how to put a piece of paper together. So we'll keep it that way for the future as well.
Excellent, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.